going against the rules of hell. We're commonwealth for common people. Through community, Mike Martin's you and me. Throw our enemies through knowledge, common wealth, common people, commonwealth for common people, commonwealth for common people, commonwealth for common people. Darker mountains rose in the distance when we were expecting white and pearly gates. With Mike, we tell our stories, share our trades, and housing, and stocks, and all the things that we all make. Through his show we crescendo symphonies instead of war and wave. Common people, commonwealth, common people, commonwealth, common people,
I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night to whoever watching this transmission. I want to welcome you all to Commonwealth for Common People, Commonwealth for Common Folks. Whatever you like to call the show, call it whatever you like it, but we're here, and we are live. Welcome to our new live streaming channel, where we're just going to be live streaming from here. This way, if something goes off the rails, nobody needs to panic, because we are live. Commonwealth for Common People. I'm just going to throw this up really quick on our... I gotta sign out and go back into another channel. Yeah. So, guys, go ahead and share this video if you can. I don't have the ability to share it right now because I'm on another channel streaming, so I can't go back to the main channel to advertise it. I forgot. I was tied up today. It was pretty busy today. It was been a very busy day today. So, I want to thank everyone, for... I want to thank everyone for the last couple of videos on the other channel. I got a lot of comments, a lot of commentary has been jumping up there, right? And I just want to thank everybody for that. Again, I want to thank everybody for contributing and being part of the channel. Okay, guys, channel disclaimer. We do not offer investment advice. We can't read. And due to this channel's poor quality and poor content, we recommend that you never watch this video. All right, guys, you have been warned. Okay, we got Lapis Blue in the house. We got Margio in the house. We got CJ in the house. We got Rom N in the house. So people are jumping into the chat. It is a newer channel, folks. It's only a few days old. So hopefully people will trickle in from the other channel and make their way here. And yeah, it's going to be a good one, folks. Commonwealth for Common People. So what's new out there in the finance world? Let me know in the comments there as we're running live, and we're going to do a quick channel plug, and we're going to get this taken off right now. All right, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the main channel. There's the this is the replay. This is the live stream channel. So there it is right there. We are live, and we're live streaming here on the channel. Yeah, this channel is nice and clean, so we're going to keep it nice and clean. The other one's got a lot of problems on it. Guys, this weekend we have Alaska Prepper coming on the show. So Alaska Prepper is going to come and make a difference. So he's going to talk about prepping. We are 4 weeks out right now. We are currently exactly 4 weeks out. So I've been calling this for the last 12 weeks. So we got to really pay attention to what's going on, where things are headed. We got 4 weeks out. So big guys, please be careful. Guys, also Alaska Prepper's here. If Alaska Prepper this Mike in the Night. So there's a link for that. Also, guys, don't forget to check out my online store. I haven't sold anything here yet. I think there's problems with my shipping. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. So if you're in Canada or the United States, go there and buy something. Like, there's lots of good stuff in here. Oops. There's the store channel right there. So if you guys want to subscribe, and there's... Sorry, I forgot to show you Alaska Prepper there for this Saturday, Mike in the Night. Also, guys, if you need to message me, I've been getting a lot more messages here on Instagram. We do have our... Discord, and Discord's on fire. So if somebody wants to post this live link to our Discord, I would really appreciate it right now, because I've been really tied up, and yeah. Guys, I started this BS channel, but it's getting actual views on it, and it's just gardening, hot tub. Jaguar Raves came into my store with this weird, just a weird channel, how-to and thing. I'm restoring my bathroom here. I got a lot of work I'm doing, so you guys could go ahead and subscribe to that if you want to see more softer stuff. just not so political. Guys, don't forget to check artbydano.com. Not your typical art, artbydano.com. Don't forget to check him out. And guys, if you can, please donate to Lord Humongous for the Amerifornia tour. And our music is brought to us by Ralphie.co.New Zealand 24/7 radio. And Ralphie has some really good music here from New Zealand, and you could also hear replays of Mike in the Night. Lots of replays here for Mike in the Night, live replays, broadcasting from Auckland, New Zealand. All right, people, how are you? Hope everyone's doing okay. So, we got a very important guest coming on the show. I'm going to read a few headlines, and I'm going to get him on the show. We finally found him. We didn't know what he was up to, and we got
Ricky Spanish.
He's here. Ricky Spanish is watching live, so he's here. Big Rob New Zealand saying, beautiful sunny winter day here in New Zealand. It is 47 degrees centigrade, and this entire shirt is soaked, so it's that bad. We got David Xavier in the house. We got John Ming in the house. We got Big Rob New Zealand again in the house, but he's like, it's winter there, so yeah. Margie's in the house too. We got Lapis Blue. CJ, everybody's rolling into the comments tonight. It's going to be a little slower than the other channel with comments, but we'll start building it up. I got some good news. It looks like Blunt News may get Billy Idol on Mike in the Night.
Ricky Spanish.
Oh, yeah, not Ricky Spanish. Billy Idol might come on Mike in the Night, so I'm talking to him here on Skype. Not Billy Idol, but Blunt News, so... Okay, so we got 26 Gunter, 991 billion in reverse repo today. Yep. We're gonna get on Alaska Prepper, uneducated economist again, just to give us an update with that. Yeah, and 1 trillion tomorrow. That's right. 26 Gunter knows his finance. He knows what's going on. And that's why we need to have him more on the show. We need more of your voices on the show. So if 26 Gunter could kind of explain that to us, or maybe kind of give us an insight. I know what's going on. I've been seeing it. I've been following it. Guys, we're 4 weeks out, so pay really close attention, okay? There's not a lot of YouTubers out there they'll count it down to the day, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to get Ricky Spanish on first, but I'm going to go over a few headlines here for you guys first real quick. Lots of important stuff happening, so let's just open this up here. So runaway house prices, the winners and the losers from the pandemic. So here it is, guys. So in Akron, Ohio, house prices have risen 10.1% over the past year. In Albany, New York, the increase is 11.7%. Albuquerque, New Mexico, has seen similar 11.6%. Why? Amerifornia. Plain and simple. America will turn into California, and everything will be out of reach. Taxes will be high. Real estate will be expensive. And there's going to be a ton of winners and losers in this one. Watch out, because it's going to be a big one. And here it is here. Suddenly, people are unable to eat or travel. Richer households have used last year to build up their savings. So here it is. And now you'll never believe which one has actually shrugged off the pandemic. Let's put this on full screen here for you guys. So there it is. Sweden is number one. Sweden is up past 15 points. Look at Sweden. Denmark, Russia, United States of America because of Amerifornia. And 4 years ago, this wouldn't even be on here. The California, Oregon and Washington State and Massachusetts and New York don't make up enough of America to actually put the benchmark price up there. Now, with Amerifornia in 2021, with the new president-elect, America now is ranked 4th, just below Russia. So, all right, let's go to article scan here. Korea is right below the United States. Canada's right there for sure. You would have Australia up here, but it's fallen. Germany, Netherlands, the United Kingdom, Taiwan, Brazil. Brazil's seeing an uptick in housing. They're seeing a 10% uptick across their benchmark price. I was watching Notícias Português de Brasil the other day, and they were saying that housing has gone up in some areas even 14%. France, just over 6%. Mexico, prices are going up. China, prices are still around the 5% mark. South Africa, prices around the 5% mark. Hong Kong, prices are no longer. Hong Kong would have been up here before this whole Chinese takeover. Hong Kong would have been way up here because Hong Kong 2 years ago you couldn't even buy 2 square foot of a closet for less than $100,000. And then you got Japan. Prices are still, 3 to 4%, which is normal for Japan. Then you got Italia, which is 2 to 3%. India and Indonesia are down here. And then you got Spain in negative territory where houses are worth less than what they were a year ago. So Spain might be a country to migrate to or be part of or go to if you want to find something, if you want to find something affordable. So white people. Age of households. So America's home ownership gap. So white people are still dominating all households from under 35 to 35 to 44, 45 to 54. And then Asian are right behind. So there it is right there, right behind. And Native American are right behind the Asian. And then you have black right behind the Hispanic. So it's pretty much right across the board, and I'm going to give it another year and a half while Chinese will will dominate the buying sector in the United States. This could be a lie, so people here don't freak out. America's homeownership gap. So if there's just as much Asians buying as I would say Chinese buying as Americans here, I think America needs to worry because a lot of it, again, it has to do with foreign ownership, right? You guys need to remember that United States, Canada, even Brazil, Mexico, these countries were all expansions of Europe, right? Spain got its part, Portugal got its part, England got its part. We all got our parts. The French really got nothing. They just cried. But everyone that got their parts of the world. And they were extensions of parts of Europe that we were from. And so there's a big, huge movement that's happening, and we're 4 weeks out. Watch out. Canada's housing market is moderating, but still blazing hot. Sales and prices are up sharply from a year ago, but a trade group finds a positive spin. How do you find a positive spin on unaffordability? I don't even know. Well, it turns out that the market is cooling when it comes to Canadian real estate is about the same as throwing your Brita at an active volcano. The Canadian Real Estate Association has announced that home sales were in May were 103.6% higher than a year earlier. So sales are going through the roof. The national average sale price for the month ballooned 38.4% over the same year period. Then it says in May the ratio was 75.4%, down even slightly from April, but a massive improvement over 90.7% seen in January. For Canada, a shift into buyer's market territory, the sales to new listings ratio would need to be closer to 40%. So we did cover this sales to new. So the national average selling price in May was $688,000, while that's almost $30,000 lower than the record established in March, which is up 40% from May 2020. During a damn pandemic. Look at that. During a pandemic. Housing is just going nuts. The highest it's ever gone. Okay, so we got Mitch Madden saying, howdy y'all. Had a problem getting to this broadcast. You did? Well, it should be there on the channel. I should have advertised it. I totally forgot to advertise it on my main channel. I'm so sorry, folks. I'm going to be doing the streaming on this channel and videos on the other one. This way I don't get myself in trouble. All right, let's move on. Edmonton luxury market experiencing a trickle-up effect. So a lot of corporate numbers have been buying, corporation numbers, unnamed people have been buying more and more luxury homes and leaving. Most of them are just going to be left empty. I don't think no one's going to live in them. And Bank of Canada is quietly updating a forecast models to include debt and real estate. Ooh. So this is a good one. So what are they looking at? The total debt service ratio, including the TEMI, the Phantom Menace. So rise of the credit economy. Yeah, we know that, and that started. They're going here 2011. It was rolled out in 2011. I'm thinking it was 2010, but that's okay. And debt to service ratio. There it is, right there. Bank of Canada just discovered debt can influence home prices. Yeah, I would say so. It's a long article, but I kind of wanted to get into that to kind of put a positive or some sort of a spin on what's happening here. Canadian home down payments are huge, with the average in BC hitting 160,000 down. So that's why average wage upper average wage earners earning about 85,000 a year 85 to 100,000 a year cannot afford the $160,000 down payment. Down payment, not a house. Down payment. It's not $160,000 for a home. Down payment. All right. So there it is right there. Canadian property bubbles are seeing small city home prices catch up. And then what's happening is, what do they mean by small city prices? I live in a town with a population 7,000. I bought my house for $260,000 5 years ago. It's worth close to $770,000. Houses on my street in my cul-de-sac have been selling for $700,000+. That's what that means. I just answer that for you there. Let's move on. Now, let's go over to the United Kingdom. UK housing prices rise at the fastest rate since 2004 amid stamp duty rush. So Nationwide says all areas of the country recorded growth, with London prices increasing 7.3%. I think the benchmark for a house in London, the average price of UK home rose to £245,000, taking home the annual rate of 13.4. This is the benchmark price in the UK. This is not London. The average price in London, I think, is like £870,000. People in London can't afford to live in London if they're born and raised. So there it is. Annual house price growth in the UK rose 13.4% in June, the highest since 2004. So this is the United Kingdom. So you got cities like Dublin. You got cities like Belfast. You got Edinburgh. You got all kinds of places where the housing is spiking. And places like Ireland and Scotland, a lot of people are starting to see this rare phenomena of bidding wars. It only has been introduced in the last 3 years. America seeing bidding wars. Again, since the new president-select came into power, you're going to see a lot of changes happening in America. Amerifornia is going to be... It's going to be interesting to see where Amerifornia is headed. I think Ricky Spanish is there. Guys, whoever is on our... Okay, I know David Xavier is on there. Guys, can you go to our live Discord and put this live stream in there, please? Can you go, please, somebody to the Discord? Oh, Lord Humongous is here. Can you go to our Discord and put this live stream in there? Unfortunately, I forgot to promote it today. I forgot to put it on my other channel. So we're not going to have a lot of people following today or... seeing this today because I YouTube doesn't get us out there, right? So UK house prices growth soars as buyers race to beat the tax. So people FOMO in the UK is absolutely phenomenal. So it's going to be very interesting. A rush to beat the end tax holiday low. It's like some, you know how they do Black Friday and everyone freaks out. And if I don't buy now, I'm dead. So that's what happened. It is the Wild West this month, pushing up house price growth to its fastest pace in nearly 17 years. The Nationwide Building Society has revealed the UK Nationwide House Price Index rose 13.4% in June compared. So we just basically read the same article over. And Macquarie takes a $1.9 billion bet on UK housing market. World's biggest investors by seeking a slice of property class that's proved resilient during the pandemic. A lack of supply and growing demand across Europe has made purpose-built more rental housing units like America's doing. So America will become a nation of renters. And I'm going to write that down because I'm going to make a video about that. So America, nation of renters. I'm going to make a video about that before a bigger channel takes it. Nation of renters. And you know who's a nation of renters right now, guys? New Zealand. New Zealand has transformed into a nation of renters. All right, the hottest housing markets in California. Woo! So they're going to gobble up what they can in California. Someone's asking if Ricky Spanish is still in jail. No, he's out, and I'm going to call him in a bit here. All right, so housing markets across the United States have been taking a wild ride ever since the COVID pandemic hit early 2020. That's BS. They went on a wild ride when the new president-elect. They're not going to give you specifics on this. Early 2020, what Trump could have done to protect this, how many lives he could have saved. All bull. It's all, why are they telling us this shit? That's the question. At first, shutdowns and stay-at-home orders. Yeah. They're not going to tell you. So these are the rising parts. So Irvine, California is up 976,000 from 870. Fremont, California is up 136% to 1.26 million. Oxnard? Yeah. Oxnard is up 639 from 519. Elk Grove is up 600 from 440. San Jose is from 1 million to 1.27 million. And those are the hottest markets in California. So these numbers don't scare you? Watch out. Watch out, Lubbock, Texas. Watch out, Watch out, Lubbock, Texas. Watch out, Albany, New York. Watch out, Montgomery, Alabama. Watch out, Tampa, Florida, because this housing is coming to you, and it's Amerifornia. Yeah. Lord Humongous is actually on something here on the comments. The tent business is booming. He ain't making this up. It is booming. And Wolf Street put up another great article here. Most splendid housing bubbles in America. Holy moly. So, again, this is the same article that we read. I read it for you on the channel. I read it from, I think what happened was, this was taken from, I think Zero Hedge took it from here. I think so. That was the original. But there it is right there. I did cover this video on the main channel. So if you guys want to go to, I'm going to give you our main channel here. I don't have it open here. But there's the main channel right here. And Wake Up America, house prices exploding across America. YouTubers, Mike Martin's here. Watch this, guys. This content never really gets out at drive-thrus, people pissed off at everybody. Everybody hates each other. Everybody's looking for a reason, calling them, oh, you Trump voter, you're a piece of... Everybody just really ripping each other apart. Well, Americans, it's been happening for a while there, but now it's becoming more and more, and the hatred is growing. Canada, this started in Canada in 2010. After the Vancouver Olympics, where people were starting to realize that, hey, I can't afford to live in my own city. And then they started putting in these home buyer loans and all this other Mickey Mouse garbage and lowering interest rates, printing money, doing all kinds of crap to get first-time home buyers in Canada because we're selling out to the Chinese, wealthy Chinese immigration. We were competing with the UK, Australia, New Zealand. But what happened to America? Well, America had something there. It was a little bit different. Their policies, their money laundering laws didn't work in the red states. It only worked in the blue states. And that's why housing in the blue states went phenomenal and crazy. And then once the new president-elect came into power, not president-elect, select, came into power, guess what happened? Amerifornia started kicking off that day. Oh, yeah. Now... Oh, yeah. Amerifornia. In Canada have put together. You guys are lucky in America. And all you do is complain and hate each other. So here it is. San Francisco, Los Angeles. It's all pretty much the blue states. Then you start going into Miami-fornia. So that's Las Vegas-fornia, Nevada-fornia. So all these places are turning into California now. These places are starting to see the supply versus demand issue, but they're not factoring in all the empty homes owned by foreign investors. They never factor that in. They never factor in that they're printing money, and they never factor in, well, we lower wages, but we can't raise wages. Right now, we built a monster in the Commonwealth that if we raise rates more than 0.25 percentage points, it's over. It's game over. All cities are seeing home prices appreciate at double digits. A little higher than the Fed's 2% goal. Double digits. Look at my video. Here's the little link up top. I forgot to put the link. California, what that means? Housing is going to go up 40 to 100% in 1 year. 40 to 100% up in 1 year. Okay, Scott Horeca just throw something out there that made perfect sense. Gonna be huge crime and theft problems. So here's a link to that video. Let me give you the link to that video. That's on the main channel. So this channel, we're going to be doing our streaming. So if something gets out of hand here, I'm not going to get in trouble. Like this channel, whatever, we can just make another one and whatever. And yeah. Okay, so let's get our first caller in. Ricky Spanish is waiting in the sidelines, and we need to get Ricky Spanish on because he's got a lot he needs to tell us. So let's get Ricky Spanish on.
Hey.
Oh my God, it's Ricky Spanish. It's so good to hear from you, dude. How you doing?
Ricky Spanish.
You're funny.
You okay?
Yeah, you make me laugh.
It's so good to hear from you,
We
Ricky.
got the
So what's going on, dude? Come on, tell us. Where'd you go? I mean, did something happen? Did you have a few
yeah.
tequilas?
I had low energy, I guess. Well, I was traveling though. I did travel last week. I've been traveling every other week. So, I mean, it's summertime. You know, being from New York, there's things to do, but it's good to get together with people, I guess, and enjoy the summer.
So we got a new how's housing in your area right now? Where are you? Are you in Florida right now?
Well, yeah, I go back and forth every week.
Okay.
Now I
So
go back to New York next week.
okay. So is housing going crazy down there?
Yeah. So remember, I told you that I said it would be good to get your real estate license so that you can put the property that you have on the market, and instead of paying the commission,
Sure.
sometimes I guess whatever they normally charge, depending. I guess some guys like to get 5%. Some real estate firms, but you can make that now yourself if you get the license. So I'm taking the license myself right now. I'm doing a 75-hour course, and then I'll get my license, and I'll just try to buy real estate for myself, and I'll get paid a commission on it too. You know, so
Right.
that's what I would suggest. That's what a lot of people have been getting into,
Well,
and that's what I've been
apparently
seeing.
apparently in the province, some provinces in Canada, some states in America, they have more uh, 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 licensed real estate agents than they do have listings.
Yeah, the listings don't exist because multiple reasons. So the listings won't exist because you just had that article about the hedge. I guess however you say that name, Marquardt.
Mm-hmm. You there? Are you looking it up?
Ricky Spanish.
They're buying up real estate, because it's a safer asset.
Yes.
It's
Well, they're buying up. There's that big company buying up a ton of London properties in London, England. And they're gonna. I don't know what they're doing, but I know in the states. Yeah, I did read that article happening down in the states where BlackRock. Well, it wasn't Blackstone. It was other companies that were buying, and Blackstone was doing more of a rental agreement. Other companies are. There's just too much in this mix. There's too many ingredients to figure out what's making these flavors because there's just too much happening at the same time, and everything is on real estate.
well, yeah. So unfortunate that we didn't get a piece of that $6 billion purchase Blackstone did, but that's real estate. People are going into.
Hello, Ricky
Yeah,
Spanish.
you hear me?
Yeah, no, we lost you for like a whole 5 seconds there. Are you?
Uh,
Are
I
you?
was
You got good
kind of
internet where you are?
Ricky
Yeah,
Spanish.
I was trying to pull up a news
Oh, you're
article.
pulling up a window. I'm sorry. So, okay, here we go. Canada's economy contracts 0.3% in April. So it looks like Canada's economy is contracting. What do you say about the United States? Are they having? I don't think they're contracting. I think they're reopening, and I think things are going forward there, right?
The overall economy. So, well, let's talk about today. I mean, I had a great day today. I
Mm-hmm.
made 10 grand on Bed Bath and Beyond, and I I did do like a cash position on it, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to roll over into a new position on those profits the same day, even though they were cash. It wasn't it wasn't stock. Stock, it takes 3 days to settle. I do, I've been sending in the Discord my stock options.
Yes, I saw that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so um, just today alone was like 1,500%. But I did, the second one that I did, but I did it on paper. Like the positions I do, I don't suggest you do them as you can do them as real trades. I know people like to trade, but on paper, you can see the results. Like, so I basically, the funds didn't settle they'll settle into the account tomorrow. They're T+1 on cash account. So then, I paper traded the Roku. The
Mm-hmm.
Roku, the symbol ROKU. I think most people already know, but we're moving on a cycle of high volume. So that's the reason why I got involved. Technically it started tickering up around 1 o'clock, and then
Yeah, I see it around noon, and then around 1 o'clock it ticked up big time from 4:25 to roughly to about 4:59. Hello?
the Roku. You hear me?
Yeah.
So I guess the story was multiple things. Amazon's kind of was entangled in the story. They're doing some kind of podcast. There was a mixture of Spotify was in that news. It was all because it was all clustered together. It was Amazon, Roku. You have Viacom,
Mm-hmm.
VIAC, and that's CBS. Whatever they're a conglomerate, just like Google and everything else. The other one that was in that one was Comcast. So there's some kind of podcast streaming thing going again. You remember the Spotify when Joe Rogan had signed up? Spotify went from 250 to whatever, and it flew higher. And then right now you're getting streaming as a pivotal point. You're gonna see those streaming companies like Disney. Disney also has a movie coming out Friday, Black
Yes, they
Widow.
do. They do. But I have the Disney Channel, but when a new movie comes out, they're forcing me to pay for it.
Yeah, well, they're trying that. What's that like? Demand. They're trying that out. They're trying to figure out. So also on the streaming though, besides Disney, because Disney does a lot of Marvel, and they have like their video games too. So Nvidia is in that mixture with AMD because Nvidia on the streaming, they now like where Netflix and the other apps are on the TV, the smart TVs, they have the apps which the YouTube is an app
They're
that
all
you put
built
on.
in, yeah.
Yeah, so now Nvidia and I guess AMD is going to follow. Um, Nvidia has this. Basically, you can play a video game off of the TV with no console, and it's strictly off the TV. So you'd have to look that up specifically if anybody's into games and stuff. You don't need the console anymore. You just play it right off the TV, and you use a Bluetooth controller that
Right.
connects to the TV. And then AMD also Zilix. It's a company that they bought out. Now Nvidia also bought out ARM. These are two chip suppliers, and with the chip demand, they were in a position to profit off of those chip demands, but those deals had to get reviewed by regulators, and it seems that they got approval, which most people were expecting. They just don't want it to be an FTC, Fair Trade Commission, into it on regulatory issues, but it seemed to be getting a green light. So that's why AMD and Nvidia have been exploding to the upside, and AMD, I was going to buy it. Unfortunate I didn't, but I was going to. And I think for the long term, Nvidia and AMD they're still back on the hot stocks again.
Yeah.
Besides all the streaming, because the streaming has been going. Roku, it was up like $100 in the last month. But the market is getting it's getting a boost because of summer. And we talked about this even back in November, that the oil was going to go to where it's at. I said 80. It's almost at about 80. So
Ricky Spanish? Ricky Spanish?
sorry, my screen blacked out on me. You
Sorry,
got
we
me?
lost you there for a second.
Yeah, my screen timed out. So, what you can do is these Nvidia. A lot of people are looking for a price target of like 800 on it right now. So another $100 to the upside. Come like end of July. And you're getting a lot of EV hot again because XPEV and Neo, I guess they're getting good data on their sales. And there was CCIV, which is a SPAC. Well, I really don't do SPACs, but I like Lucid. They have a luxury car. And CCIV has just been technically breaking out off the $24 support level. So I got a couple of friends who own it, and I get, I try to, kind of hold their hands through, because sometimes you buy a position, you'll be down $500. It's not gambling. You don't have a tool that tells you when the time is to buy in. You just got to hold it. You're holding assets over time for a valuation that's, you're hoping somebody else will pay more than what you paid for. Mm-hmm. And that's what assets are. Is whether it's baseball cards. I've been following. I was always a gold and silver guy. Like I used to sell gold and collectibles of gold. Like I was into the St. Gordon's. But I could get into it big time. I like a lot of people are into it, and that's what assets are. Most of the guys who were selling stocks now, some of them are selling collectibles because the market is.
I've always been in the collectible market. I have a lot of collectible stuff. I have a two-tier company. I have my front store, my storefront with my thing, and then I have my eBay store where I sell my collectibles for big money. Sometimes some of it's big money, some of it's average, but I got a lot of it though. So
exactly, who there is a market for, and then the asset itself, it, so you can go ahead and get it. Like that's what I'm saying with Nvidia, AMD, Roku, Bed and Beyond was literally a half-hour trade. Like I did 1,000% this morning in the first half hour from 9:30 to 10 o'clock, and I was done. But unfortunately, I couldn't get another like 500 or 600% on the.
I'm just looking at Bed and Beyond here.
So it's doing so they came out with earnings, right? And the news was good, but the news wasn't priced in. It wasn't getting any action. I think it opened up around $30. It went to $39 inside a half hour. So from 30-ish to around 39 from 9:30 to 10 o'clock. And then, I took profits. I put a stop order in on the high, and I protect my profit, and then I'm out when it goes out. And then went out, sold me out. So I was up a little bit more, but when you put a stop, you expect to take a $500, clip off the top. But otherwise you'll keep running. If it goes to the upside more, I'm protected, and that's my support level. So, that was that one. And then tomorrow, I'm expecting Micron to be my play for tomorrow because they had
What's
good.
What's the ticker? MIC? Is it MIC?
MU. So Micron Technology. I didn't go over the quarterly report, but it came out at 4 o'clock, and from what I see, it beat. And it's not. Tomorrow morning, we'll see if it's like flat at the open. whether or not, it doesn't matter if it's 5 at 9:30. I'm going to take a look at it, and if it's going up in the uptrend, I'm loading up on it, and it could be priced in like a 10% move, like Bed Bath and Beyond today. Because it right now, it's not pricing in. Institutions after hours are pricing in down $1.93.
Yeah, $1.93, 2.27% down.
But look at the earnings. They beat the earnings from what I'm seeing. But I don't see any articles saying anything bad yet. So I'll wait till the morning and I'll see, and I'll put a tight stop.
Ricky Spanish.
Hello? I think we lost Ricky Spanish again.
No, you hear me? Oh, sorry, my screen timed out.
Yeah, every time it times out, we lose you for like 5-6 seconds. Yeah.
So if you click on the options, I was saying, you'll see the option chain, and then I'll go in and I'll pick up like 15 of at the money calls, and I'll put a tight stop of like $5 on it, and then what it'll do is if it'll go higher, I'll just hold it, and then I'll raise my stop. So it's not a gamble. It's a formulated protection. You got to protect yourself a little bit, So, and if it starts going higher, it's going to make a 10% move because the implied move for the earnings, like Bed Bath and Beyond, there's an implied moving, so the options are pricing in a certain move. So if they say 10%, and the way you get that is you go on the option chain and you add up the call premium and the put premium. So if it's like $7, you take the $7, you divide it into $83. It's about a 9% implied move on the option, on what they're pricing in that news. So it'll be the plus or minus, but you'll find that out in the morning when it starts hitting the 9:30 open. So we'll see. Yeah, Micron. I think, like I said, there's really no way to say it'll go higher.
Micron sales beat expectations as chip supplies remain tight, prices high. Micro Technology Inc. on Wednesday beat Wall Street estimates for quarterly profit and forecast fourth quarter revenue above expectations as tight supply for memory chips and continued strong demand kept prices high.
Yeah, so because I'm talking about something in the future, it's called a forward-looking statement, and I'm making a forward anticipation that tomorrow I'm taking a risk. If at anything I'll lose, $100 or whatever, $50, but I'll do, like I said, I'll do the at the money call, and I'll put a tight stop on it, and I'll make a max risk of like $100, and then I'll try to hopefully get that upside on it though.
Okay. Listen, Ricky Spanish, I'm going to let you go. We'll have you not on this mic in the night because I got Alaska Prepper coming on, and Blunt News has a major announcement to make too on next week's show. Guys, can you share this? Hey, Ricky Spanish, I really appreciate how much you're contributing to our Discord. I look at everything. I don't reply to everything, but I'm looking at everything and watching everything. It's kind of good to go on our Discord and scroll through. Guys, put a link to our Discord there, and also put a link to this live video feed to our Discord. I forgot to promote it today. I'm so sorry, guys. But I'm so sorry I forgot to promote it today. It's my fault. I got tied up. So, Ricky Spanish, we're going to let you go. We're going to have you on the other mic of the night because we may get Billy Idol on the show. So, we'll see how that goes.
All right, brother. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'll try to.
And we'll look at those stocks. I'll look at them when I'm in bed tonight, reading over what you're saying, and seeing what's a potential good move for me right now because I've been very stagnant lately. Nothing's going anywhere, so I'm gonna start looking around and looking at better options.
Yeah, because the oil's hitting
72.
It's hit. Yeah, it's pretty high. It'll continue to go higher, but it's not going to make big moves because it's already up. Like, it went from negative to $70. So that's over. That's already over like a crazy percentage that it's up. So you can try to go from oil to some kind of, we'll talk about it, maybe some other type, like the Roku actually, and the Microsoft and the AMD and the NVIDIA, probably solid. Even Boeing's coming back hard.
Yeah, Boeing's
hard
coming
right
back
now.
hard, and Rolls-Royce might do something too.
Well, I'm holding 11,000 of those Rolls Royces, but that really, I know how these play out. They're really like when you least expect it. They'll say, "Oh well, we're getting re-enlisted. We followed through with the Nasdaq." Right now, they have too many shares. They'd have to figure something out. Maybe purchase some shares, and then that company will be all right. But yeah, those are the airline plays, and a lot of them been ordering a lot of new planes, like United Airlines. Yesterday was a big order, I guess, for them. And a lot of them, other plane companies, travel companies have been rumoring about buying more planes from Boeing. So, yeah, Boeing definitely for the long term. People didn't, when I was at $100, they didn't think it was a good hold, and I thought it was a great time to buy it. And then now it's at like $250. I think it should be north of $400.
Easy, $445.
Yeah,
Easy.
Yeah, because it was at 400 pre-COVID. Like, I remember when Tilray was on the run that one time to 300. Boeing was at 400 at the time. I remember I was buying them both. So.
Oh, it sounds like someone's at your door. Is that Rufus barking? Okay, I'll let you go. We'll talk later.
All right.
Oh, we lost Ricky Spanish. It looked like the police was at his door. So we finally got a hold of him. He was on the wrong channel last week during Mike in the Night, and he fell asleep. So, yeah, he was going to come on Mike in the Night. So, guys, this is our Discord. Our Discord looks beautiful. Blunt just put the link in it in the comments. There it is. Look at this. Layla just posted, Canada's government is seeking to silence Canadian journalists. Then Ricky Spanish posted a pile of graphs here. Then this was posted by Dorico saying Amazon DPS driver reveals the challenges of same-day shipping. CRB extensions passes Senate. Bill C-30, Bill C-10, CRB update. Oh my God. Serb. So Dorico's proposed, there's Layla there. Amazon to open robotic warehouse in Alberta. Yeah, we covered that on a morning coffee with Mike. Abba Dubai, bars, unvaccinated people, bars. Sorry, I thought it meant like bars, but no. Bars, unvaccinated people for most public spaces. How to win a street fight with head movement. Learn, simple. So we got Dorico posting here. We got, that right there is Blunt News. And he asked to come on Mike in the Night on Saturday, and I said no problem. Hopefully, he has a very special announcement of somebody I'm not gonna hold it to him, but he's working on getting somebody on the show. It's probably Billy Idol. I don't know. Let me get him on. Let me see if he's Blunt. Can you talk right now for a few minutes and tell us what you got cooking there for us here on the show? What do you got cooking, buddy? What do you got cooking? I'd like to know.
Oh, yeah.
Where's my...
Macho Man Randy Savage. Tito Santana.
Yeah, I got the soundboard up because we don't get too serious here. TGH is saying unvaxxed are second-class citizens now. Lord Humongous, everybody was kung fu fighting. Beep, 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 beep.
Tito Santana.
Okay, guys. It is, you know what this is. It is Commonwealth for common people. Ooh, Florian just replied to me from Heisa Says. I'll get him back on. Hopefully we can get him back on the show. But let me do really quick. I know everyone panics when I do a channel plug, but this one will be really quick because we got a lot of our people watching now. So guys, here it is, Mike in the Night. This is the channel that we're on. We're streaming on this channel now, and we will be putting up videos on the other channel. Alaska Prepper coming on next week, if you guys don't mind setting your reminders. I would like If you don't mind setting your reminders, get this out there, Alaska Prepper. We're going to be talking prepping. And then in the second part of the show, we'll get Blunt News on. Guys, check out my online store. I'm not sure what's wrong with it, but people are having a tough time ordering. There's something wrong with my shipping. So if somebody wants to buy, I got tons of cool stuff here. So if you're looking to buy something that I sell here, go ahead and buy it if you're in the United States or Canada. Guys, go ahead and follow me on Skype if you don't mind. Skype, Instagram. Get me on Instagram. Trust the Silence actually put up a very, very good comment earlier. He said that the Euro Cup may be fixed to get people to... No, the whole soccer thing... Soccer has got more politics in it than politicians. Soccer's been fixed since the early 1930s. Ever since FIFA went under, there was... Not FIFA went under, but FIFA had issues, financial issues. That year, Germany just won the World Cup, I think last World Cup or World Cup ago, when Germany won. They actually won that because FIFA was paid $100 million for both shirts to be in the finals, Adidas shirts. Adidas paid $100 million plus to have both Adidas shirts in the finals. And that was Germany and Argentina, right? Yeah, that was the biggest fixed job in the world, man. It's all fixed, guys. Everything you see is fixed. Lifestyle and how-to channel, guys. I got this. People are... I'm going to put my garden stuff, the bathtub I'm working on here in the house. We got this... what is it? Jaguar Raves came in the shop here with some gear, some bizarro gear. So, yeah. There's that channel if you want to see. Artbydano.com, not your typical art. And he's got a new release section here. Don't forget to check out artbydano.com. I keep telling him to do a Billy Idol one. Hopefully he does. And a Amerifornia tour with Lord Humongous, guys. Don't forget to donate to Lord Humongous here for the Amerifornia tour 2021-2022. And music by Ralphie.co.New Zealand. And that's where we get our music from. Broadcasting this broadcast live stream here. Ralphie.co.New Zealand. And we broadcast they rebroadcast Mike of the Night shows here almost 24/7. You got a couple of shows, then you got a couple of other things going on that channel, and it's really good. All right. Someone asked me if I saw the Haitian goalkeeper making an impossible two-kick miscalculation in front of the net against Canada. No idea. No, there's so much match fixing. It's crazy. Need gas funds. Lord Humongous needs gas funds. It's hot, guys. I'm so hot right now. This sweat is just phenomenal. It's so hot. I'm completely soaked in the shirt. So, guys, share this. Blunt, share this on a few platforms if you don't mind, Blunt. I forgot to promote this earlier today. I'm really sorry, folks.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got the soundboard out tonight. All right, let's go over some of the articles we covered. So here it is, runaway house prices for the winners and the losers. So in 2 years since this BS started kicking off, Sweden's in first, Denmark's in second, Russia's in third, and the U.S. is in fourth. United States of America never sat that high when it came to housing prices. When it comes to housing prices during the pandemic. Look at that. That's phenomenal. Back in the day, America wouldn't even be on this list, or it would be down here. Usually you would have Canada first, then Australia, then New Zealand. But Amerifornia, right there. It never was up here. And then it's Korea, then Canada, then Germany, Netherlands, UK, Taiwan, Brazil, France, Mexico, South Africa. Look at that. Mexico seeing a housing gain of 5%. Since the pandemic. Look at that, 5%. And Spain's taking a loss right there. And I spoke to a friend from Spain recently, not too long ago actually, and he told me that they're not getting any too much foreign investing there. Spain has been promoting foreign investors from China to come in and buy in Spain, and they're even trying to build streets to go to these areas that they could potentially build condos and build. But the Chinese haven't moved on Spain. Like Spain is, look at that. So my friend was telling me is there's a lack, and Spain is really promoting foreign investing hard to the Chinese, but UK got a lot of them. Canada's housing market is moderating, but still blazing hot. Edmonton luxury market experiencing trickle-up effect. A lot of the homes in Edmonton are being sold to numbered companies, so they're not even people. We don't even know who's buying them. Bank of Canada is quietly updating forecast models to include debt and real estate. This is something that should have been done before. Total debt service ratios need to be checked before. And annual house prices in the UK. So don't be startled when you see this annual house price in the UK. This is including cities like Dublin, Belfast, Edinburgh, like Scotland, places like that are seeing an uptick. So when you see upticks, the rest of the UK looks good as a whole. So you see this up right here? It's because right now you're seeing this go up and everyone's freaking out. But Ireland and all these countries are seeing bidding wars and bizarre BS happening in their housing market in the last 2 years. So this is why you're seeing the price growth in the UK. And UK house price soars. And the Macquarie is taking $1.9 billion bet in UK housing market. So they're going to start creating rental housing and all kinds of stuff. Kind of what Blackstone is doing, or BlackRock, or whatever they're called there. And we got Forbes here. The hottest housing markets in California. We said them earlier. They're Irvine, California. Fremont, California is up 136% from last year. Oxnard, California is up close to 23%, 109%, sorry. Elk Grove, San Jose is up from $1 million to $1.27 million. So the price of housing, America's going to see Amerifornia, so there's nowhere to hide in America unless you go to like Guam or Alaska somewhere, you know, into the wild. Yeah, you see, Dano just put up a really good point here in the comments. Folks will pay $1 million for a house in Canada to freeze their butts off. It should be cheaper because of the crappy winters. 100% spot on. Even when I was a kid, when I was 12, 13, and I wasn't living in Toronto with my parents, I'm thinking, why would anyone, like, why is it, like, you know, why would anyone want to live here? It's too cold. Like, parts of Canada, you get 8 months of the year where it's actually cold 8 months of the year. You know, it hurts. So you would think with all the space, all the land, all the material to build stuff, all the manpower, everything to do it, to do what you can to build a healthy society, it would be cheaper. You would think so, but it's not. Because it's all fixed. Wolf Street, the most splendid housing bubbles in America. Holy moly, June update. And I have it right here. I have that video right here on the other channel. So go ahead and take a look at it. I'll play a few seconds of it here. But on a national scale, it even gets worse. Case-Shiller National Home Price Index rose 14.59% year over year in April, the fastest pace in home prices since back to 1988. This is faster than the prior peak acceleration in September 2005. Why? So you're probably wondering, how is this possible? Okay, if this is COVID, there's no jobs, people are losing job, forbearance, more and more people are going to be evicted. It's all part of the plan. Now, guess what? You're probably wondering, what's penting up the demand? Look it up, Americans. $11.5 billion was brought in from Hong Kong in 2020. During this massive pandemic, in 2020, 11.2 or 11.5 billion dollars was brought into your country. You're probably wondering, well, $11 billion doesn't buy too many homes. Yes, it does. When they're $200,000 a house. Yeah. In Vancouver, guess how much we got in Canada in 2020? $42 billion. Actually, it's $46 billion that they know of in Canada in 1 year. And look what our housing, look what's happened to our housing. We can't even get first-time home buyers, even if we gave them 50% down, because they can't afford the payments. It's really good stuff here. Housing is everything for Californians' big cities. The hottest housing market in Texas in 2021. So Texas is seeing some of the biggest large suburbs, large sleepy suburbs of Dallas are the hottest housing markets in America. So we're seeing Texifornia right now. Texifornia, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with Texifornia. But I think Texifornia is going to get pretty bad real fast, right? So Plano, Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, population of 285,000. Houses, look at this, guys, from 345 to 430. Let me put this here so you think I'm not making this shit up. Look at this. In 1 year since the pandemic, look at this. Increased 24.6% from 345,000 in May 2020 to 430,000 in May 2021. You can't make this shit up. McAllen, dynamic city on the Mexican border, has grown over the years. 195, and prices are up 14.7%. That's a lot of money, 195. Like, people don't... Irving. We got from 283 to 345. That's a 22%. Frisco, 209. So, sorry, 437 to 541. Dallas, 33% increase, reaching from 316 to 420. You guys America has no idea this Amerifornia is gonna destroy them. Once it happens like it happened in Canada and America and Australia, and like Australia it's happened, Canada, UK, and New Zealand. Once America wakes up to this, what's happened to us, watch out. I don't know what America's going to do about it, but I know in Canada we did nothing, and now they're censoring us with Bill C-2330, whatever the hell they want, whatever shit they want to call it this time. They want to censor us from talking, or journalists or whatever. I can't even read, so I'm not a journalist. So that's what's happening right there in Texas. Texas. Okay, we got Wimbleberry area is the hottest Central Texas housing market. Orchard data says. This was sent to me by KXAN, ABC News, NBC News. Austin Business Journal, although raising home prices are seen across the board in Central Texas, some zip codes have been hit much harder than others. So when I said there's going to be a 40 to 100% increase in housing across America, I made it really clear it's going to be in specific pockets you'll see 100% markup. So there it is, River Park. Mixed, I'm just looking at this, there's other stuff in here, but... just wanted to throw that out there. So, thank you for sending that to me. Unbelievable Sydney homes are going for millions in Australia. Housing boom. There it is right there. So we talked about this. We already discussed this last week, but I wanted to bring it up again. Top 5 reasons why house prices keep going up. So there it is right there. Apartment for a typical $1.3 million typical apartment, $750,000, while in Melbourne sold for $974 for houses and units. Look at that, $974. Easy access to credit. There's your boom equation as the population grows. But here's the problem. The Australian proper isn't having as many kids as the foreigners that are coming in. So the Australian proper, they're not having children. Like Canada, our population in Canada is kind of like borderline, only because of birth tourism in Canada from China, not from Europe. Forget it, from Europe. And there's their interest rates, and there is your reserve bank cash rate. I'm sorry, there it is right there. So there is your Sydney median house. There's your national median house price. Wow, look at the national median house price. $899. Man, Australia is population growth. What population growth? If you're in Australia, can you tell me in Australia if your population is growing by locals or is it by foreigners? Let me know, because it makes a big difference. Planning controls. Whatever. Tax policy. Age pension. Sydney, dethroned as Australia's most expensive place to buy a house. That's no longer Sydney. Where is it now? I like when they show these kind of houses as most expensive, like these palatial homes with big pools and all that. It's not this house. It's this house. This house right here with the Jeep parked outside. This house they're talking about. See that? That right there. There's the bedroom there, and there's the living room. There's the house. So millions of dollars for average property. 6-story apartments allowed across much of Auckland. So New Zealand is densifying, becoming more dense with population. So they're going to build more high-rise towers like this, 6-story towers in New Zealand, so they could cram more people on top of each other. Even though you got a ton of land, open land there, but a lot of it's, I think it's owned by the Queen. It's crown land like Canada. Housing plan too little, too late for New Zealand's younger finished. New Zealand is a nation of renter. America's going to become a nation of renters, just like all the other countries have fallen in line. And I don't know what the hell that is. And that's just a little bit of stocks we were talking about earlier here. And Bitcoin is not a bubble. Experts say the time is to act now. And this is coming from Business Yahoo. Finance Australia is reporting this from 4 hours ago. Man who predicted the 2020 crash issues huge warnings. Tax cuts for low earners, small businesses. Small banks, new entrants face scrutiny. Crypto update, Bitcoin slides as hype leaves market. Global sting shuts down double VPN network. Apple Car could make this TSX stock skyrocket. And what else do we have here? House prices score lofty gains, of course. ASX, right now as we're speaking, the Australian markets are open. The ASX drops as crypto recovers. Let's take a look at crypto. Yeah, BTC slightly recovered here. Now it's sitting at 46,635 Australian dollars right now. So we'll see what happens. So the FTSE is down right now over in the UK. The Hang Seng is down right now in Japan. The Hang Seng in Hong Kong. The Nikkei 225 in Japan is down. The DAX is down 159. The Dow Jones closed over 34,502, 210.22 points at 0.61%. So, I mean, markets are one of those markets, but we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. Let's get our next caller on the show here. I hope everyone's doing good out there, guys. Thanks for sharing this transmission. Mike in the Night is going to be on this streaming platform. The other channel's open, but we're going to be streaming on here, folks. I'm so sorry that I couldn't. Let me see if I can switch out, if I'm allowed to. I'm not going to switch out because I might cut the stream off. I was going to switch out and then share it on my other YouTube platform through community so people could see we're live, but I forgot to do it today. I was so busy today, I totally forgot to do it. That's how busy I was today. All right, so we had Ricky Spanish on earlier. Blunt News, I messaged him earlier. He didn't get back to me. I think he's busy. We got Buddy down in Colombia saying we're finished. He's saying Canada is officially now a fascist country. Canada go ba ba ba, black sheep or sheep. Apparently hate speech has no statute of limitations. It doesn't matter if it's said before it was a crime. So what Canada's doing now, like if I said something like 13 years ago that was considered, so what is considered hate speech, right? So if they see something that was said before, they could actually come after you 10, 20, 30 years later, right? So
Tito Santana.
It's going to be very interesting to see what they're going to do with that. So I really, really urge you guys to be careful when you call into the show. I don't want nobody getting in trouble. So lab mom of 2, I moved to East Texas in May, bought my house without seeing it, did a FaceTime walkthrough with realtor. Good move, because East Texas right now is on, you saw the articles I read, it's on fire right now. Amerifornia is coming. So hunker down, Americans, because once you start to see in your major cities, all major cities, 80% of major cities, where the average average condo unit is going to cost you $600,000 to $1 million, and average detached home is going to be $1.7 million. Watch out. I'm looking forward to see what Americans do about this. All right, let's get somebody on the show. We got Lawrence I'm just trying to see who is available. We had Matthew on last week. We had Jacob on last week. We had Eduardo on last week. I think that show got taken down too. I'm going to try calling Stel. I know he's living in Greece, and I know it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, but I want to see if Stel is okay, if he's doing. Now he's offline. Hello, I'm going to message him so he knows I'm trying to get a hold of him. Yeah, he's never checked his Skype ever since he left to Cyprus. All right, who else do we got here? Okay, guys, if you have student loans, that's another thing, guys. If you're looking to start a business or move to the States, apparently in Canada, they might hold you back if you're holding student loans from leaving. I know this. I know I brought this up a few years ago where people can't travel without student loans and blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, I think this is it's going to be a major deal for America, for Canadians trying to flee to America, because what they're doing is a lot of professionals are moving to the States. We lost a lot of our nurses to America, and we're not replacing them, and that's becoming an issue in Canada, right? And I don't know how long before our healthcare system falls apart. So, guys, this is the main channel. I want to show you here on a playlist how crazy things have gotten on this weird timeline. I was looking at this timeline here today, and it's crazy. Oh, guys, don't forget to check out my Filipino home I'm building for $6,000. Hey, YouTuber. I'm building a house here. Every part I show photos, like in-depth photos of the transition that we're doing here. Come on, what is this going? So this is like the land. It's all poured concrete and rebarb. You might want to check out this series. It's called My Filipino Home, $6,000. Hey, YouTubers. There's 4 videos, and the last video was just very impressive. Hey, YouTubers. Mike Martin, so that's the first video. I go back to it. It's actually... There's the sliding door. We got sliding doors, windows. They're all shatterproof windows and doors. And we got our kitchen counter put in. It's all cement. It's all rebarb and poured concrete. And right now we're just around the 4,000 American dollar mark for what we've got done so far. And we're trying to budget 6,000 American to get this house done. And it's pretty much, we're going to put ceramic flooring, keep it nice and cool because it gets get real hot. We're going to get a lot of work done. So I'm going to leave this. Okay, let me go back to the first video. Give me a second. Hey, YouTubers. Mike Martin's this is the first video here. So if you want to share this or show this to a bunch of friends, there's the house we're building. So hopefully after things start to hit the fan, we could be able to fly soon. So maybe the house value is great, but paying high property tax in the Philippines is $6,200. We got our property taxes for the house and the land that we have, and my wife said yearly it's about $130 roughly at $130 American a year. So I'm not sure where the Paul is taught. Maybe in Manila it's different, or we're in the Palilio Island. We're in the middle of like really nowhere. And if they get any money for property tax, they're lucky if we even send them money for property tax. He says I have an Airbnb condo in Pampanga. Papa Piss saying travel to the Philippines is mucho dinero. Kia Hagos is saying that's $1.1 million house in Toronto, your Filipino house. Well, because I think what he means is because it's poured concrete and rebarb, and there's no wood. It's all poured concrete, like they make stadiums out of, like poured concrete and rebarb. So it could last. And the foundation went down, I think we went down 14 inches to pour the concrete and rebarb. So we have a really strong foundation. I mean, it could get hit with wind, hurricanes, typhoons, whatever. I think it would be okay. Yeah, Liberty Returns is saying listings are starting to rise near Utah. Yes, they are, and I'm going to explain to you why Liberty Returns, why it is. I'll specifically, Salt Lake City, all those areas, I did cover it. So if you search across the channel, guys, here, watch, I'll show you here. Let me see if I can get... If I could find across the channel Utah. Here we go. And this, I was already predicting this. Guys, share my channel. Let people know I'm doing all this work. Look at this. Utah housing disaster must watch. It's must watch this. It's Vancouver all again. But to me, it's intermigration. So watch this. Utah housing disaster must watch. I did cover a few videos on the Utah housing crisis and Salt Lake City. And yeah, this is kind of important, guys, if you get a few seconds to watch this. But this is becoming a major, this housing is going to be huge. This is what's going to spark. Oh, Mike, what do you think is going to spark a civil war in America? Is it going to be the drug war? Is it going to be migrants versus people? Is there going to be the government versus the people? It's going to be people against housing. America will see a civil war against its own housing market because America is going to trend towards building their economy off real estate like Canada has, New Zealand has, UK, and Australia. America's 4 years behind, so they need to speed it up. The Raven says he would die in Dominican. I almost died in Dominican Republic. Yes, Justin is saying you heard about the reverse repo rate. Yes. I think it was almost $1 billion today or something, and then tomorrow was $1 billion or something. I think somebody was bringing. I think Papa Pissed was bringing it up. Bringing it up earlier in the show. Liberty Return says rent hasn't been really increasing here like most of the country. Yep. Renters in some areas are going to be fine. They're totally fine. Amerifornia is going to affect a lot of the upper middle class Americans who think they did the right things and they made the right choices, which they probably have, but they have no clue what's coming to them. I wish Americans understood how bad. Oh, Mike, yeah, conspiracy theorist, Mickey Mouse, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to give you guys, let me find it here. There it is. I'm going to give you guys a breakdown here of how it's going to go down. So if you're living in the United States, it's almost the same patterns. So you're going to start seeing empty streets. So this is from 6 years ago, this video. Vancouver empty streets. Look at this. Empty streets in Vancouver. Vancouver's now in a housing bubble. This was 6 years ago I made this video. The bubble gets bigger in Vancouver. This is how many years. America's just getting started with this. Look, 15% foreign buyers tax. Look at this. Canada's banks favor foreign home investors. Look, Vancouver, London in housing bubble. Watch this, Americans. Vancouver and Sydney, Australia, brain drain. Housing prices skyrocket all over the world. Get out of Vancouver. Housing is ruined. People forced into homelessness. This is like 7 years ago now. Look, food is costing more than my rent. Empty homes. Not many homes for available for Halloween. Housing spiking in the Lower Mainland. Mass exodus of young families leaving, brain drain 6 years ago. Housing crisis, Vancouver, emergency alert. Vancouverites abandoning condos. 15% drop. The dark side of the housing boom. Australia's mortgage prison, part 4. Part 1, 2, and 3 are gone for Australia's mortgage prison. Toronto, Vancouver home buyers punished. First-time home buyer loans will rally markets, and they did. And not only that, they destroyed the middle class. Homes are a new ATM machine. People borrowing too much. So people borrowing, and I'm talking about the TDS, your TDS ratio, your HELOCs. Understand these things, people, when you're borrowing money against your home. No one is. Then, 6 years ago. Housing affordability out of reach, 6 years ago. This is all coming to America. Sharp correction in real estate. You'll think you'll see a correction, but it's not. And it just keeps going on and on. Housing prices still up. More pain ahead. Global property prices fall. Get out of Vancouver. Price hikes for 2017. Chinese buyers now looking for cheaper properties and moving into middle-class cities. Housing bubble won't burst. Real estate double-digit correction needed. Millennials taking on too much debt. Investors pumping up Toronto real estate market. Wow. So Americans, get ready. China will own Canada by 2020. Look at that. New Zealand housing sell-off. And that's, again, they're selling off because they are making money off their homes, right? Price boom in the GTA. Get out of Sydney, Australia. Housing out of reach. Wow. We're abolishing the foreign buyers tax because it's working. Wow. Look at this. Urgent. China suffers largest capital outflow. Why? Because trillions of dollars are leaving Chinese markets and moving into English-speaking markets. Wow. 25,000 vacant homes in Vancouver. It goes on. The death of the big city. Economy dangerously dependent on real estate. Look at that. New Zealand housing severely unaffordable. Wow. Look at that. Australia selling itself to the highest bidder. Canadian lumber jobs on chopping block. Wow. 40 people renting one house in New Zealand. House sells $1 million over asking, and this is from 5 years ago, 1950s brick home. So this is happening, America. This is coming to you. This guy's charging $15 a night to sleep in the back of his SUV. FOMO. 10 more years of housing crisis. I was estimating 10 more years. I was wrong. I didn't know it was going to go on this long. So that's it right there. There's more, guys. It just keeps going. Rest in peace, Canada, the middle class. 1945 to 2017. Young families leaving big cities. Housing price drop in Australia. That's in Perth. The Great Canadian Bailout. Toronto and Vancouver housing scam. Canadians are now drowning in debt. Toronto needs more money laundering. It just keeps going and going. It just doesn't end. Yep. So I did a lot of work. I mean, I've been covering this for many, many years, and I've been trying. But here's the deal, guys. Let me tell you what the deal is. I followed my own words of wisdom. I'm out. I'm out. I'm not just going to tell it and then sit back and let everybody else figure it out. No, I left. I moved to a town with 7,000 people. Nobody likes me here. That's okay. I'm not crying over that. But it's better than having to just struggle. Yeah. Rumsfeld passed away? Donald Rumsfeld? All right. Yeah, it wasn't Donald Rumsfeld part of the neocons? Him and Dick Cheney. What are those other losers there? Rumsfeld, Dick Cheney. I'm just trying to think of those other... There's two other losers with him. Hanging out with him. All right. You could tell it's hot because I'm sweating like crazy. All right, who could come on? David Shu, Zoo is there. I want to get him on the... I tried calling him last time, but he never picked up. Come on, guys. First time callers, let's go. Oh, let's get Mitch on the phone. See what the hell Mitch is going on. What's going on with Mitch?
Mike.
Mitch, I've been trying to reach you. You're a lot tougher to get than the president.
Yeah.
How you doing?
All right. Where are you at with your place in the Philippines? I haven't followed it lately.
Oh, if you want to watch the fourth video, we got the windows, sliding doors, and all that other stuff in there. And we're doing the kitchen. We're gonna do it like more of like how the Portuguese do the kitchens, with the ceramic counters and the ceramic backsplash with the ceramic tiling.
Cool.
Yeah. So
God,
ceramic
imagine-
tiles are good to cut on, and when you're cutting food and stuff.
And you guys were all set to go when this silly pandemic started.
Yeah, the pandemic. You got to be careful how you say it because yeah. But let me go here to my playlists here so I can show you guys what he's talking about. Yeah, so we're almost at $5,000 mark with the house. I mean, you could sleep in there now if you really wanted to. If you want to put a mattress on the floor, you could sleep in there. It's not furnished. They're gonna ceramic the floor. We're gonna put ceramic on the flooring so it stays nice and cool because it gets very hot in the Philippines. So let me go to the part where we're at here. So we got the windows, the doors,
YouTubers,
we
Mike
got
Martin's-
the everything
we don't need to
done. We have a big backyard. It's a really nice place. So, it's perfect. You know, it's
Even
got
this really
3
nice
bedrooms,
steps
I
up
think, and it's got 2 bedrooms and a den and one big giant bathroom. So we could put like a whirlpool tub or something in there if we want to.
And that's Polilio?
Yeah, Polilio Island.
Yeah, and that's near Aurora Province, right?
Dude, I don't even know, man. I
Yeah,
was gonna go there and see it for the first time, and then this COVID BS shit kicked off.
Aurora is on the eastern side of Luzon, just near the Sierra Madre Mountains. There's 2 big mountain ranges in Luzon, the Sierra Madres and the Cordilleras is where the rice terraces are. Where, you know, the Ifugao people there that wear the men wear the skirts, and they wear they have a different, their tribe has a different kind of a costume than other areas. But anyway, Aurora is where I can't remember which Philippine president was from there, but his place got blown away in a typhoon because the big typhoons have a tendency to hit that eastern side of Luzon. I don't know, you know, about Polilio, but that is in the area.
So,
I think it's just north of Aurora Province.
So
And of course-
we made sure it was nice. We went about 8 inches deep, and we did 8 to 10. I can't remember, but it's in the first video. And we did the rebarb and the poured concrete. The whole house is poured concrete.
And you're doing the 1 foot square tiles on the floor.
Yeah, we're gonna go nice with the nice tiles. It's gonna be like colorful because it's bright, it's sunny, it's vibrant, it's colorful. So we're gonna make it nice and fun, you know.
Yeah, tiles are a must. When I developed my place over there, I was gonna just go with a cement floor, you know, just straight cement, and then I decided to go ahead and go to the extra expense of putting in tile, and I'm glad I did. They're really nice. Now, what about insulation in the ceiling? Are you doing any of that? That's not
No, we
commonly-
got a metal ceiling, but we got this foam that we put underneath, and then I think what they're gonna do. We were talking about that the other day. You just when it rains, you'll hear it rain. There's nothing we could do about it, but our roof is gonna last us forever.
Yeah, I put insulation. I originally installed a wall unit air conditioner just in the bedroom, the quarto, and I put insulation just over the ceiling because when I developed it, you know, there was no ceiling. Most of the homes over there don't have a ceiling. You know, they have a roof, but it's open all the way to the roof. And I wanted ceilings in the bedroom, so I put the ceilings in. Anyway, then but the insulation does help, and also a roof that reflects heat also helps. If you do those
I'm gonna
two,
solar panel that roof because what we're gonna do is we're gonna build another section to it later on once we're allowed to go there. So before I start going into the 10,000, before I get into the 10,000 marks in spending, like before I get to that, I want to build like right here. If you guys are watching right there to this side, I want to build a whole extra section here, and then I want to put a rooftop patio with stairs in the back to go to the roof. Yeah, with a rooftop patio.
And you said you're going to have enough room to do some planting, to put a little garden in?
We have lots of land here in the back there. Lots of land. It goes all the way to the trees there. We're about, I think, maybe 2,000 feet from a beautiful, pristine white sand. Gorgeous. I'm going to film that when I go there for you guys. A pristine, gorgeous white sand, gorgeous beach that we're from.
2,000 feet?
away, 2,000, 3,000 feet. Yeah, like maybe 3 miles. Yeah, from a beautiful beach. It's about my wife said it's about maybe 10-minute walk, maximum 10 minutes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. We're on an island, so I mean, you could pretty much see the ocean everywhere you are, right?
Yeah, and man, it sounds wonderful. Um, if you're going to stay there long term, you're married to a Filipina, so yeah, you can get, if you decided you ever wanted to, retire there, you could get the it's a permanent resident status because you're the spouse of a Filipina, and then once you get that, you don't have to keep going to immigration and paying every 2 months. When you first arrive there as a foreigner, you have to go to immigration. You get 30 days free, and then you have to go to immigration and pay for 30 more days. Then you have to go on 30 more days and pay for 60 days, and then at that point, you also have to get a special card, and it costs $100 and something, and then there's other fees, blah blah blah. But once you get your permanent resident status, when married to a Filipina, then you only have to go to the immigration once a year. And as a matter of fact, I think, Mike, that you might be able to enter the country as long as you're with your wife and can prove that you're married. I think you can enter and get a free. A visa free, I think, for long term.
Okay.
Because I never entered with my wife when I was married for 13 years. So she went over there a couple times, but she went without me, and so I'm not sure exactly how that works. But you have lots of options because you're married to a Filipina. As far as the visa, it'll be much easier than just a Canadian traveling over there.
Right. Well, it was like that when I went to Thailand. I went to Thailand, and when I went to Thailand and Vietnam, people were saying, "Hey, let's open a bar, let's do this." And I thought about it, and like, wow, we could actually do well in the entertainment scene. But then when I realized there's all this red tape and foreigners are not allowed to do anything there, it's like, wow, okay, then forget it. You know what I'm saying?
No, don't ever start a business, and don't ever move any significant amount of money to the Philippines. I can tell you that for sure. That's a mistake. If you're going to do any business, it should be online. A YouTube channel, or you can. Some people teach foreign languages online. There's people all over the world that want to learn a certain language, and you can sign up for that, and you can get not big money, $10 or $20 an hour, but you're doing it online, and you get paid, and you're not, you might be able to avoid taxes and all that. And that could be a little side hustle, along with a YouTube channel. That could be a side hustle. Mm-hmm. And there's all kinds of things you can do online, which is what I would recommend doing. But I would not invest in the Philippines other than your family home. That's okay because you're married to a Filipina and you have children with a Filipina. That's fine. But I wouldn't do any investing over there, none at all. And matter of fact, I would even be reluctant to open. I tried to open a bank account there, but the U.S., I don't know about Canada, they've got their clause in all around the world, and a citizen cannot open an account over there without filling out all these forms for the U.S. Treasury and the IRS and all that stuff, and they know everything that you're doing. So what I do is I just I bring some cash when I arrive there. They have to be crisp, bills and the modern bills and all that, and then I bring debit cards. I bring international credit card with no fee, and that Charles Schwab has an account that you can open. You don't have to have a large balance, but you can get a debit card, and then you can avoid all the fees when you're overseas, because there's fees from your bank here, and there's fees from the ATM there if you try to use your debit card to get money. There's a lot of ways that you can save money if you study a little bit before you ever want to go over there for any length of time. You probably on your first visit, you'll probably just take the family like you were planning to do before you got canceled. You'll probably just go over there for like a month or something with your family on the first visit.
That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to go for a month. We wanted to go in like January or February when it's like really cold here.
Right.
And then go have some fun there in the Philippines. But I was very disappointed when this COVID BS shit started kicking off and this BS stuff. And Man, I'm kind of lucky we didn't go because we would have been stuck there. We would have had a really tough time leaving that country.
Yeah, I know it hurt to pay the cancellation fees or whatever, but it's better than you guys getting stuck over there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
By the way, I just listened to a vlog with Doug Casey and an old comrade of his, a like-minded guy, a developer over a native of New Zealand, and he was saying that if you fly into New Zealand now, they force you to isolate in a COVID
No, but they're not
hotel.
doing that to foreign investors, though. I've already spoken to another gentleman that works at the airport and made it very specific to me and said, Mike, you're not spreading fake anything. Foreign investors come in from China into YVR. They come in. They don't quarantine. They go do whatever they're doing. And they get back on the plane that evening or the next day.
In Auckland?
In New Zealand, again, foreign investors are exempt from showing anything to come in. Same thing in the UK.
Well, that's just another one of many indications that this is there's something big political or international going on here.
Hold on a second, Mitch. Canada had one of the biggest movements of money out of Hong Kong in 2020. $46 billion was accounted for that they know of that's been declared from China, from Hong Kong, just in 2020 during the pandemic. So when you move $40 billion in 1 year and our housing goes from $1.4 million to $9 million, remember that home I was showing for $9 million?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when it goes like that, you know that obviously these people aren't being quarantined for 15 or 20 days or whatever the BS they're doing with these hotels. It's not for investors. Investors have a backdoor, and the people that work on the tarmacs and the people that work at the airports tell me, Mike, you're not making this up. These people don't. And somebody that was in one of the Auckland airports was telling me they come in, investors come in, they get on the tour bus, they go buy properties, they get back on the tour bus, and then go back to the airport and go home.
I mentioned in the comments today I went down to a little grocery store called the Grocery Outlet. It's a chain of, they buy stuff wholesale and stuff. And anyway, the checker in there, a gal, had her glasses on, and I started asking her how her day was going. And she said, "Oh, I feel so good." She says, "This is the first time I haven't had a headache in over a year." And I said, "What do you mean?" She says, "Well, I came into work this morning," and she said, "My boss told me that we don't have to wear a mask anymore." And she said, "When I had to wear a mask, I couldn't wear my glasses because my glasses fogged up and I couldn't see the register or anything." And she said, "So I've been not wearing my glasses when I come to work and I have to put my mask on." And she says, "I've had a chronic headache." She says, "I've been taking pain pills every single day for over a year." And she said, "I've been working for like 4 or 5 hours without my glasses." And she says, "All of a sudden I realized I don't have a headache anymore." Mm-hmm. So anyway, here's another person who has suffered tremendously from this mask. And like Gerald Celente likes to pick up the mask box, those blue masks, and he picks up the mask and it says right on the side of the box that this mask doesn't do anything.
It doesn't protect you from viruses or this or contagions.
It doesn't do anything.
Or pandemic or anything.
It might catch a few dust particles or something. Now, I've been watching the guys, I allegedly, Dan and then JB, down in Southern California, and they have been going around all over the place, and they're coming back to locations that they visited a couple of months ago, and they're seeing significant, noticeable increases in homelessness everywhere they go.
Well, California is going to go right across America. You're going to go on that I-10 from Los Angeles, LA County to Jacksonville, Florida, and you'll see homelessness right across that I-10. In every major city, I mean, across.
Well, add to that, there's now I don't know if this is true. It sounded like it was too many, but somebody just said that there's 41 million student loans out there, and then $1.7 trillion. I don't know if it's 41 million, but the 1.7 trillion I've heard numerous times, so I think it's credible, and they're not making the payments. And then between the forbearance and the whatever the rental exclusion is, whatever the name is. In between those, there's about 50 million people living in houses that aren't paying, or condos or apartments that are not paying the rent or the mortgage. And then there's people driving cars with car loans that are totally unqualified. Millions of them that are totally unqualified.
A lot of people jumped on this debt wagon. Debt is cheap, but people don't look at paying it back. That's the problem. They borrow it, but then they forget that it's got to be paid back, and then that becomes a major issue in the long run, and people have to pretty much start over.
And because of all this fake money and the stimulus and all the stuff that's flooding through the system, there are people. Rick Harrison at the Pawn Stars says there's people paying $10,000 for a video game. He said that things are. There's even a guy on this, what do they call it, NRP or something. They're virtual things, like a virtual car or virtual something that they're selling. There's an acronym, a 3-letter acronym like NRP or NM, something like that. You know about that?
NPC.
Yeah, there's a guy that had an NPC. He sold the sound of him passing gas for I don't know, several $100s or thousands. I can't remember what he sold. He sold that. Somebody bought it. A sound of his fart.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
Things are really just out of whack when all these crazy things are happening. And then up in I think it was Boise, Idaho, they said that year on year, the rents have increased 31% year on year. Now, nobody's income is increasing that much. And I went to a garage sale Friday, and the couple had a for sale sign in front of their house, and it was a moving sale. And they said that this was a junker house on a bad looking lot, about a 1950 small house, and it was in a sketchy neighborhood with everything was hodgepodge.
Boston,
It's part of town that I've never
Massachusetts.
been in before. And they said that they listed the house for $279,000. That sounds cheap if you're in Vancouver, but here it's a lot of money. $279,000 for a junker. And they had 6 full price offers the first day they listed it, and now it's in a bidding war. And I'm thinking, another thing, Mike, back in 1978 in California, the state had doubled our property tax. I had just bought my first home, and all of a sudden my property tax doubled. And then the Jarvis-Gannon initiative came out. That was called Prop 13. Most people around have heard of it. Anyway, it was an initiative, Jarvis-Gannon initiative, and we passed it, and then that limited the property tax increases that could. Anyway, in Oregon, we did the same thing about 15 years ago. That was called Measure 5. It was an initiative, not a referendum, put on by the people. And what it is when you buy a house, say you pay $100,000 for a house, and then your assessment is 1%. Well, you pay that each year, the 1%, and under Measure 5 in Oregon, the county can increase the assessed value by 2% only. It doesn't matter if the house doubles in value. The property tax, the assessed value, can only go up 2%. But what people that are buying these new houses at these inflated prices, a lot of people, especially new people that aren't sophisticated, what they don't realize is when they look at the house, it shows the property tax as it exists. And they buy it, and then all of a sudden the county can reassess it once the changes hands. The county can reassess it at the new value or the new purchase price, and so a property tax can go up from $1,000 a year to $5,000 a year or $10,000 a year, depending on what it's just been assessed for and what it sells for now. And then so the people all of a sudden get hit with a big giant surprise next year when they get their property tax bill.
Yeah.
And there's people in California that I know that are paying $10,000, $15,000 a year in property tax. And, that's dollars. And that in Canadian dollars, 15,000 would what be 20,000?
Yeah. 16 would be 20 large Canadian, yeah.
Well, where are people getting all this big money? I mean,
we just covered down payments. It's right here. Down payment in the province I'm living in, I'll tell you right now how much you need. You need $160,000 for a down payment now, and that's just like on a house that you could buy in some places of Arizona, or you could pick up in Alabama for less than 40 grand. That's what kind of property quality you're buying for $160K down. Yeah, and that's why we can't find first-time homebuyers. Upper average wage earners from 80 to 100 large a year cannot afford $160,000 down payment.
You know, I belong to three local Facebook connected buy sell trade sites, and I see on there all the time people desperately looking for a place to, either they want to buy an old motorhome, fifth wheel, pull trailer, or they're looking for a place to park one, with hookups. That maybe they have a kid or two, maybe they have a dog or something, and they don't have hardly any money, and there's no place to rent. There's no place they can't buy anything. They can't rent anything. They've got no money in the bank, and they're on food stamps, and they're just screwed. They got young kids sometimes, like a single mom, and they're just screwed. And this is kind of like an untold story. People talk about it, but it's everywhere, and it's growing. And it's growing fast. And we haven't even hit the wall yet. We're going to hit the wall pretty soon.
Oh, we're hitting the wall. Everything hits the wall. But this is in Canada. What you guys are, Mitch, what you're seeing right now in Oregon, we've been dealing with this since 2010 in Canada. Yeah.
Well, that's why you got out of Vancouver. But look what happened to your house. The same thing.
Well, I could sell this house for $700 large and walk away from it tomorrow. And I paid $260 for it.
Now, do you have a law like we have in 1998? The U.S. Congress passed a law here. It's a federal law that is if you buy a home and a husband and wife and you live in it for 2 years or 2 of the last 5 years, you could use it for a rental as long as you lived in 2 of the last 5 years. Your husband and wife each get a $250,000 tax-free exemption. So the first $500,000 in profit for a couple are exempt. So do you have anything like that in Canada? Like you could sell that thing, and then other than your selling expenses, you wouldn't have any tax liability for you and your wife?
No, we have tax liability.
You'd have to pay taxes on the profit?
You would have to, yes.
Because I was thinking with that kind of profit, Mike, even though your family is young and all that, as soon as you get there, everybody's got their proper citizenship and all their papers in order. You could actually put that into a couple, diversify into some safe investments, and you could actually move to Palilio Island and live like a king.
Yeah, big time. Lenny Poo in the comments is saying in this province where she is in Manitoba, $30,000 will get you a down payment and closing costs plus land transfer tax on a $400,000 house. Here, Canadian home prices are so giant. So this is again in BC. This is in British Columbia. $160K is what you need down because the average. I've seen some 1-bedrooms in Vancouver go for less than $700,000, but then they're in a really, really dangerous part of the city, and really dangerous, under 700,000 1-bedrooms I've seen. But I wouldn't risk that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where this all ends, Mike, but. As a matter of fact, it's never going to end, and unless there's a all-out, nuclear war or something, it's never going to end. It's just going to keep getting worse. And I don't know. All these.
Oh, I have some good news for you, Mitch. Mitch, hold on. I got some good news. You know what they're thinking of passing in Canada, and they're actually working on this while the Bill C-10 and C-36 are front and center, and everyone's crying about it. Do you know what they're passing in the background? They're actually passing a bill in Canada where they're going to start taxing you yearly on the equity on your home.
Well, you already said they're taxing you on the water that runs down your driveway, right?
That's in Ontario. In Brampton, Ontario, they have a water tax where the water that goes down your driveway, you get taxed for a sewer tax. So they calculate how much rain fell, and then they take the width of your driveway. And why are they telling what? This is all bullshit. But anyways, yeah, ways to get money. It's all bullshit. So that's what they're doing, and then they're going to be doing this. And Canada's looking to tax families annually on the actual equity in their homes on a yearly basis. Oh, don't worry, it's only going to be 1-2%, and we could break it down in 12 equal payments. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Mike, I was thinking, I watch Egon von Grers. You know him?
Yeah.
He's over the. He has dual citizenship. He has citizenship in Switzerland and Sweden. Well, he just recently went to Sweden, and he said in Sweden, they're not having any shutdowns or required masks and
No,
and
there's a
social
lot of places that didn't fall for this BS. They just went as business as usual.
Yeah, they just said, look, there's a bad flu out there, and use common sense, and that's the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, I was also thinking about Layla was thinking about possibly relocating, and I thought that Sweden might be a place she might want to look at.
Yeah, Sweden. I honestly, a good country to live in, like right now, especially because their government has undergone a major overhaul and the banking system has undergone a major overhaul. Which country do you think I'm saying, Mitch? Which country went through a massive banking major overhaul in the last 8 years? Do you know?
No.
Iceland.
Oh yeah, well they put all those bankers in jail.
That's right. Iceland right now, you could live a normal. You could $210,000 for a big home with a big backyard. Mind you, you get 7 months of cold, but you do. If you look at the temperature in Reykjavik and in Toronto, it's almost the same because you got the cold winds coming from the lakes, the Great Lakes. So you go to certain parts. I saw it warmer in the North Pole. Than Toronto, Ontario. I saw it warmer in the North Pole. I'm not making this up, Mitch. Like some years I would take a screenshot and compare North Pole to Toronto, and it's warmer in the North Pole in the winter.
Well, Iceland, I think there's less than 1 million people that live in Iceland, I'm pretty sure.
Someone says Iceland sounds miserable. No, Iceland is not. I got a lot of people watching me in Iceland. I don't know if you know this, but Mike of the Night is actually a big deal in Iceland. People are asking me to go there. I'm like, can you come? Well, we could organize 1,000 people, 800 people to come and see you. I'm like, what? Really?
I imagine that they're far enough north. I haven't really investigated Iceland much, but imagine they're far enough north to get the almost 24/7 and during the summer solstice on June 21st, and then almost a lot of darkness in the winter solstice. I'm thinking.
So here's some images of Iceland, guys. It's actually very beautiful. It's a beautiful country. The little downtown area there. Beautiful church. Condos. There's the new condos they were building up there by the parkade. Nightclubs. The downtown Iceland, Reykjavik. This is an older photo here. But look at it. I don't think it's as bad. This is Christmas in Iceland. This photo was taken on December 23rd. So there's not a lot of snow on ice on the ground. So people think Iceland, they're like, "Oh my god." I'm like, I really don't think it's that, Look, they even have a rainbow walkway here. It's pretty much upbeat and they got a good soccer team too. I don't know if you know that. And they got beaches. Look. So when people think Iceland, they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, man.
It's Greenland, I think, is the... As a matter of fact, I think Greenland, I could be wrong. Australia is considered a continent, but it kind of meets the qualifications or the definition of an island also. Mm-hmm. But I think Greenland is the largest island in the world, I'm pretty sure. And the second largest island is down there. It's the northern part of Indonesia, Malaysia. I forgot the name of it. But it's a human... Actually, that island down there that I just mentioned, down there near Indonesia, Malaysia, just to the west of the Philippines, is actually two different countries on one island. Mm-hmm. The southeastern portion is like Suriname or something. I can't remember the name of the big island. I don't know why it slipped my mind, but anyway, but Greenland supposedly is the one that has the real nasty weather, and supposedly they named it Greenland so all the stupid people would go there. And then they named Iceland, so people that did their homework would know that Iceland is a much greener than Greenland.
Yeah, there's just Iceland. There's like a little what do you call this? Like a little area here, a little suburb here of Reykjavik. There's like all kinds of coffee shops and everything. So this is in November. So it looks cool there. It doesn't look like it's like freezing like when you're by the it's a Mexican restaurant there. So when you're on the Great Lakes there in Toronto, Ontario, you're cold. When you're over in Michigan, when you're by Lake Huron in there, you get really cold. But look at it in Iceland. Look at this. It's January, so you get some snow. It doesn't look crazy like you know what I'm saying? Like in Toronto, you get 4 or 5 feet of snow. You know.
What about immigration? The ease of immigration and also the ease of buying a property over there and the cost. Have you looked into any of that?
Okay, let me find out here. The Blue Lagoon. Yeah, there's a place in Iceland called the Blue Lagoon where you can go swimming in the wintertime. So this is in the winter. People go swimming in this like when it's winter, in the middle of winter. And
it's got the thermals?
The thermals, yeah. So people are in the water there enjoying it in the winter.
Like a sauna.
Yeah. So people are out like literally. Like this girl's hair is freezing. Her hair is all frozen from but everyone's in the water here in the thermals.
Really?
Yeah, in Iceland in the winter.
Wow.
So I'm going to just check here, housing.
Yeah, I'd like to know. I've never looked at housing and probably around Reykjavik. You'd probably want to live in the.
130,000. This is 130,000 130,000 US dollars.
For what?
For a house on average.
Really?
Yeah.
So the next thing would be is, do you have to?
It depends. It varies if you want to be right in the city. If you want, but people are like wages there are actually high in comparison to what things cost.
Well, that's the way it should be.
Let me see here.
Yeah.
Minimum wage.
You should be able to buy a house with 3 or 4 years earnings.
So minimum salaries in Iceland start from 174,000 ISK per month to 3,070,000 ISK per month.
Yeah, but what's the conversion rate?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I'll bet you, Mike.
Okay, $3,234 a month.
What is it?
The median salary in Iceland is 5,000. Sorry, it starts at the minimum is 3,234 a month to 5,776 per month.
Canadian dollars?
I don't know what this is.
Okay.
Let me check here. I don't know what this is. It just maybe their money. So on average per month, a dentist makes $12,000, an attorney makes $7,000, a chef makes $4,000, a pharmacist makes $4,000, a pilot makes $6,000, a police makes $4,000. So, like if you Iceland, I mean, I think if you spent a year there, you'd easily start figuring out what things really cost. But Iceland's always been a country that you get 8 months, 7 months of like cold weather, but I beg to differ. This year, I was going to do it a few years ago, then COVID hit. I'm going to start comparing and putting in the community section Toronto, Ontario, and let's say Winnipeg, Manitoba, and then Iceland, and then North Pole. And you'll see that the North Pole in Iceland is actually warmer than Toronto and Manitoba in the winter. Yeah.
And my guess, the salaries for the different professions that you'd mentioned is not too. There's not much of a disparity between those salaries, and the average house or a house for 130,000 sounds really reasonable. So my guess is, Mike, that with the 3 or 4 years of gross income for the average Icelander could buy the average house, which is about what it should be. And I had mentioned to you before on the show that in 1960, my dad made $300 US a month, and that's $3,600 a year, $7,200 for 2 years, and they bought our first house for just under $7,000, a little less than. And he was an entry level city fireman, just entry level, and not the chief, not a captain, not a driver operator, not an inspector, just an entry level. And he bought that house for less than 2 years' income in 1960. And okay, let's just say 3 or 4 years. But you were saying in Vancouver, what does it take, like your whole lifetime's income to buy the average house or something? And what you had to save for 20 or 30 years to get a down payment?
Yeah, 20, 30 years for a down payment.
And the thing is, a house is never paid for between all your property tax, insurance, maintenance, and then once I live in a senior mobile home park here. It's a beautiful little park, but if you want to go away for 6 months out of the year, like in the winter, you want to go and follow the sun somewhere, you still have to pay all the utilities. You can't cancel them. You know what I mean? You can't shut down your water and sewer and all that. You still have to pay the full boat on everything. So it's the same way where you're at. Yeah, I've seen your utility bills. And I could live all year on your utility bills, just your utility bills, not for your business, just for your house.
Okay, here it is. I found something, guys, for you guys. Let me go to full screen here. So I got Toronto, Ontario, and I got Fairbanks, Alaska, okay? And in January, this is snowfall, okay? In January, Fairbanks gets 27.2 inches. Toronto gets 27.2 inches. February, on average now, Alaska gets 21.1. Sorry, this is centimeters plus 26.2 centimeters. Toronto gets more snow in February than Alaska does. Fairbanks, and then Toronto gets more snow in March, 19.8, and Fairbanks gets 15.5. So you see what I'm saying? And then the snowfall starts again in October in Alaska, 1 month earlier, and then November starts getting snow in Toronto, and they're pretty much almost lined up together. So, like, when people say the further north you go, the worse it gets, no, it doesn't work like that. It does not work. Yeah, I get it. It's cooler or whatever, but no. Like, if you compare Alaska to Alaska weather to Toronto, Alaska's more mild in the winter, and it's way up north than what you get in Toronto in the winter.
Yeah, and I wonder if you threw Reykjavik, Iceland into the mix, how that would pan out, as far as a comparison.
Here it is. Compare.
Because they're both in the northern hemisphere.
It's actually. Oops, I got Fairbanks in here. No. Toronto. Sorry, let me throw Toronto in here real quick. Toronto. I'll get it from the Metro Zoo. It's all doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's all the same area. I keep getting Fairbanks, Alaska. It's not telling me. Let me refresh the page and see if it allows me to insert. Okay. Iceland, Reykjavik. Enter. Let me see if it. Let's see if it gives it. No, it keeps giving me Fairbanks, Alaska. It's not leaving.
Right. Well, I'm guessing that there's not much difference between Toronto and Fairbanks. I mean, here I'm mixed up. Toronto and Reykjavik.
Yeah, no, I've seen it warmer on the North Pole than it's been in Manitoba, Ontario.
Yeah, Mike, once you get north of a certain latitude, I don't know, probably when you get up into the 40s in latitude, and you start going north from there, I think there's microclimates. There's all different, and of course, we're on the coast here in Oregon, and it might be, during the dead of winter, when a big Alaska freeze comes, we might get down to freezing here on the coast, but inland, it can get down to, practically 0 Celsius. No, 0 Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it can get down to really into the teens or single digits inland, not far from here. But when you're near the Pacific Ocean, the ocean is, say, 60-something degrees, and it warms the coast. That marine air keeps the soil and the... matter of fact, right here on the coast is perfect to build a wine cellar because the temperatures year-round are perfect for wine.
Okay, Mitch, I gotta get going. It's been past 2 hours, and my wife is calling me. We'll get in touch real soon. Don't forget to tune into Mike in the Night, okay?
Okay, thanks, and God bless all of you.
God bless you, Mitch. Goodbye. So that is Mitch Madden. And guys, is wrapping it up our 2 hours here. I want to thank everybody in the comments for joining us. Paul S. Layla, Grindhouse Cartoons, Papa Pissed, Scott Horeca, Jeff Salcedo, Jefe Salcedo, Lenny Pooh in the house, David Xavier in the house, Lord Humongous in the house, The Raven in the house, everybody in the house. Guys, don't forget to join us for Mike in the Night. It's going to be a big one. We're going to get Alaska Prepper on, and then we're going to have Blunt News make a very important announcement. So I want to thank all our guests for coming on the show tonight and being part of the channel. I want to thank, Ricky Spanish was here tonight. Mitch Madden was here tonight. And then we had, that's about it. Is that all? Yeah, I think we didn't have too many people coming on the show tonight. But next week it's going to be really good. And, yeah. People, Commonwealth. All right, guys. Mike Martin's here. Take care, guys. And if you can't take care, please stay safe. Mike